Example of what stem cells can do. So that's like an example of a kind of presentation that you would give, just kind of short facts, and then in the end, Ms. Sideco will sometimes ask you about your personal opinion that you came to. Because a big part of it is if you don't want to read these articles and just assume that these people are, at the top of their field, they know what they're talking about. Someone might be come from a different area of the country than us. Say they're from a place that is much more conservative than the Bay Area. So to us, or to some of us, we are super, super pro-choice. Whereas if you're doing abortion, maybe they're from the conservative South, and to them, pro-life is what they've grown up supporting. And so you have to kind of just like keep an open mind and consider their perspective, because you might find yourself completely changing your opinion about something too. So, yeah. And then also, like another tip that I have is Ms. Sideco gives you a lot of time in class to like research and look at articles, and don't waste that time doing whatever you please, like watching Netflix or whatever. Just try to, research and use that time wisely. Because toward the end, like the night before, I was like trying to find articles after article after article, and they actually can be tough. Like if you're looking for a legal article, you have to go search different databases. They're not all just in one spot. So it requires you to like be a smart researcher, and Ms. Counts will help you with that. But yeah, you guys have any questions? Yeah.
It was regarding your topic though. So where were the stem cells obtained from? Like you said, just from an embryo. Like where the stem cells come from? Like where were they obtained?
Well, it depends on what kind of stem cell it is. If it's an embryonic stem cell, then sometimes it'll be taken from like the embryo. Usually when a woman isn't planning on having the baby, like oftentimes it comes from an aborted fetus. So that's where it gets kind of controversial, because that's to some people disrespecting this life. And why use, a child that was supposed to be alive, that had the capability to be alive? Why use them for scientific purposes? Yeah.
Are embryonic stem cells more useful than like adult stem cells? Is that because
Yeah.
obviously they wouldn't do it unless there's an advantage, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's like a big advantage. I mean, adult stem cells are nice, but like they're a lot rarer, a lot harder to find, and it can only the cells can only differentiate into the cells from that one organ. So if like in my example, if you were to take it like a bone marrow cell, it can only become that. Whereas the embryonic stem cell, you can put it in any organ in the human body, and it can become that for the most part. Yeah.
Maybe nerve cells or no?
I'm not sure about nerve cells. I'm sure there's like exceptions. Yeah.
Could they become brain cells?
Likely. I don't know. You'd have to I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're at such like a basic point. Like in the embryo stage, you're kind of just, your cells haven't differentiated yet. So they haven't sectored off into all these different organs or places. So they're really just like the basic form of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So probably, yeah.
Could you take a stem cell from like a live embryo and have it continue growing and be fine? Or
Yeah. What do you mean like a live embryo?
like if somebody volunteers to have their baby like contribute to this research and
Mhm.
like, oh, you can take a stem cell for my baby.
Yeah.
Is that?
Oh, like before it's like given birth to?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But I kind of wonder like how many parents would, I don't know, like add to that effort, because you kind of worry like, oh, you're taking away some cells from my developing child.
Mm-hmm.
It's also probably a big risk.
Yeah,
Like
probably
injury.
presents a big risk, but likely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You say stem cell as in one cell, does that mean just overall stem cell, or it's actually more than just one?
So usually stem cells, like they're found in like colonies, like the cancer stem cells, it's like a population of them where they're compacted like together. So I think they're usually found like in bulk, but they are rare. Like I did research last summer, and we looked at cancer stem cells, and we tried to determine like the population of cancer stem cells in this whole brain tumor, and it was like less than 1%, like 0.5%. So it's like a really small population.
Did you take bioethics as a senior?
Yeah.
Did you do your JRP on something with biology?
No, because I had to do an author for honors English.
Oh, okay.
So that's another thing I want to talk about. Like, whether you guys are in English or honors English doesn't really matter, but the Animal Project and JRP, they're kind of about like issues or topics that you're not going to really talk about a lot in your life. I mean, I don't know what you're just like deciding on for your JRP. It could be something that you're really passionate and interested about, but this is something, these are like really pressing everyday issues that you might find yourself in a debate with someone talking about. Whereas like I was saying, I did the Anna's hummingbird, and there was like once in my life where I actually talked to an adult or a friend about the Anna's hummingbird. Like it didn't end up applying to a lot of other conversations. Whereas this is cool because like I feel pretty knowledgeable about stem cells and I can talk about it with people. Yeah.
How do you find the stem cells?
So there's like different like antibody markers that you can tag for. So you can like put in like a protein of some sort that has like a fluorescent flag on it. That's what we did when I was like researching. And then you put it in a sample or something that allows you to see the fluorescence, and then you can like spot them that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, is like a bulk of the research done by private firms, or is it mostly like government funded, like subcontractors?
Yeah. So I'm not really sure where they are legally right now with it, but I know that Obama tried to overturn Bush's, he tried to end all government-sponsored funding of this kind of thing. So I think that like maybe now there are government like research firms that are supporting this, but I think a lot of it's private, probably, since it's like so, like most Republicans are likely against it. It's a very bipartisan issue. Do you guys have any ideas what you want to do for your research funding?
For JRP or this?